My name is Chandler and I do customer service. So originally I started smoking, I was about 15, just before my 15th birthday, actually, I think. It started with a friend. Originally I was just having a really rough day and they came up and was like, hey man, what's going on? And I told them everything that were going on and they were like, well here, you want one of these? This might help you. Next thing I know, I was a pack and a half a day, so. It took me about, I want to say 3 months to 6 months to be about a half a pack a day. And then about a year into it, I was about a pack a day and then on, so. I stayed smoking until I was about 17 or 18, and that's when I transitioned to my first kit, which was a Kanger pen style. It lasted me for about a year, maybe a year and a half, and then unfortunately it broke. Since it broke, I didn't really have the funds to transition back to vaping, or to keep vaping, so I went back to smoking, unfortunately. But I was smoking for about another 3 years, and then about a year and a half ago, I quit it altogether. And since I've started working here, I've gotten back into vaping, but just the 0 milligrams for the nicotine, so no nicotine at all for me, yeah. I did quit for about a year and a half in between then, so that definitely plays a factor. I'm not gonna try and put myself back into it. But it was a bit of an easier progress, especially since you can slowly taper your way down, especially with even getting like unflavored juices. You can taper it on your own if you want. If you don't want the 6 or the 12, well, make your own 8, you know what I mean? I originally went all the way in at 24 milligrams, learning that was a bit too much for me, so I cut it down to 12, and then I made it all the way to 6 before my vape broke, and then I went back to cigarettes. But yeah, started too high, had to work my way down, so. Oh yeah, I was terrified. I was like, I have no idea what this is, what it's gonna do for me, if it'll even work, if I'm wasting my money on it. Especially since when I originally bought my first set, it was about $100 that I spent for just a kit and 2 juices. So I was concerned, obviously. That was a bit of chump change for me to lay down out of my not so great check at the time to hope that it's gonna work. But after trying it for about a week, I was like, cool, I'm glad I invested in this, so. I used to be able to barely walk a mile and be winded. Now I'm walking my dog almost 2 miles every day. It feels great, you know what I mean? I feel a lot better altogether. I don't feel gross. I was waking up almost every night, hawking up a lung, if not all day long. I could barely breathe, having asthma with it, so this is just better for me. A month before I started working here, I was having random urges like, man, I wish I had a cigarette. And then I thought to myself, why do I want a cigarette? And so I talked myself out of it, thankfully. But the urges are still there. It's just, like I said, the core strength to ignore it and put it aside, so. Yeah, my name is Chandler, and this is my vape story.